Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Mystic, and in this video, I'm gonna be telling you about the most annoying little kid in the world. So this kid, he stole from me, he lied to me, he did a bunch of mean shit, and I had to make this video as soon as he was gone, because he just pissed me off so much. So, it all started out, like, I'd say, around two to 1.5 weeks ago, and when he got here, I thought he was gonna be a cool kid, like cool key, and I was wrong. So I went downstairs for about an hour, and I was playing on my 3DS, and he he came downstairs to me, and he said, "Hey, do you know?" No, he said, "Hey, do you have Gmod?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So he gets on Gmod, and he's played for about 2 hours at this point. So I tell him to get off, and it's time for bed. And he's like, "Wait, let me finish this map." And I'm like, "Fine." So I go lay down, and like 2 hours later, I hear him like yell. So it was 3 a.m. and I like jumped out of bed because I heard him yell. And I'm like, "Dude, get off now." And he just yells, "Let me finish this map!" And I'm like, the first time I didn't look at the map. So I had no idea what map it was. Me being me, yeah, I'm fucking retard. So, anyways, so I look at the map and it's Big City. That's the biggest map. That's one of the biggest maps in the fucking game. So, he's playing Big City. And then I immediately push away my mouse and I slam the computer. And he doesn't know my password, so I just logged him out and he can't figure it out. And he's like, "I'll figure out your password." And I'm like, "You don't know what it is." And he's like, "I'll find it out or I'll lock your computer." And I'm like, "I didn't set a lock to my computer, so you can just try, and you can try forever and it won't freaking lock itself." So, yeah. So he's just like, "Fine, I'm still gonna figure out the password to it." And I'm like, "No, you aren't. So don't try." And he's like, "Okay, I'll," and he tries so long. And it's to the point where I don't even know if I should like let him still be playing, because like, yeah, he's just been trying to get my password for so long. So he somehow figures out my password and starts playing back on Gmod. And I immediately change my password. I change it to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 0, and I don't know how he figured that out, because yeah, he's retarded. Yeah. Anyways, so what I did was, after I changed that, I just like, I closed the computer, and I knew he wasn't gonna guess that because of how much of a retard he is. And so I see he's trying to guess it, and then as soon as I see that he's trying to guess it, I tell my dad to lock my computer in our safe. So he locks it in the safe, and then we both fall asleep. Well, I thought we both fell asleep. So I go, and when I wake up in the morning, I see he's not on the floor where he was sleeping. And I'm just like, "Hey, does anybody know where Jack went?" And they were like, No, we don't." So I immediately went downstairs because I freaking knew that he would be down there. And I go into our basement because that's where our safe is, and I see he's down there on my computer. And I'm like, "Dude, what are you fucking doing?" And he's like, "I'm just playing. I'm just going to the bathroom." He literally says, "I'm just playing," and then he says, "I'm just going to the bathroom." So I knew he was trying to freaking play Gmod. No, he wasn't trying. He was playing Gmod. So I was just so pissed off at him. And so we had to go somewhere at 8 a.m. in the morning. So his parents were super mad at him. He had like bags under his eyes. We were pretty sure he was up. He was on there the entire night. And so what we did was we just we didn't give a fuck because he was gonna like try and fall asleep, and when he did, we just immediately shove his head in the water. So we didn't give a crap about him being tired. We just gave a crap about him not getting the fuck off of the computer because he wouldn't. So it gets time to go to the thing that we had at 8 a.m. I think we had whitewater rafting. So we go whitewater rafting, and this is the most annoying part of him. He yells way too much. So when there was land in front of us, behind us, to the left, to our right, he saw one plot of land that had a house on it, and he immediately yelled land ho. And I was just like, dude, that is so pointless. And he's like, no, it's not. There's land. And I'm like, there was land everywhere. And so it comes, he's been yelling the entire trip so far, so we've just not even given a fuck anymore. So we, when we get back, I brought my computer with me, but I didn't play it on the way there. When we get back, I'm riding in his parents' car, and I brought my computer, and he's like, hey dude, can I play Gmod? And at this point, I don't give a fuck, so I'm like, just fucking play it. So he plays Gmod for a solid, I'd say 15 hours. No, he plays it for about 3 hours, because our trip was 4 hours, and I woke up around in 3 hours. So he plays it for around 3 hours, and he's just pissing me off because I just wake up and I'm like, hey dude, can I play? And he just yells, no! And I immediately rip it out of his hands, and I go to Steam, I close the game, I go to Steam, and I uninstall Gmod. And we all know Steam, so if you uninstall a thing, you can just reinstall it. It's no big deal. So I uninstall it, and he just yells, you're a jerk, you know that? And I'm like, if I'm the jerk, why are you only playing with me for my computer? And he's just like, I'm not. And then I say, okay, tomorrow you're not allowed to play on the computer once. And he's like, fine, I won't. And I know he's gonna play on it just because he's him. And so what we did was, I went to sleep because it was 9:30 around that. I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning to my computer being exactly where I left it, but Gmod was installed. And I know I didn't install Gmod, so I immediately knew that he installed it because he's a freaking Gmod loving a bitch. Because I don't know if I've already told you this, but he loves Vanoss. He's in love with him. He would suck his cock. So I immediately go to him and I say, hey dude, did you play Gmod last night? And he's like, no, why would I play Gmod? And I'm like, because it's installed. And then I have this thing on my computer where it shows you how, the times that you've played. And it said last night, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. And I just immediately knew that he was on it. And I'm like, yeah, it says you were on it right here. And he's like, that wasn't me. Your computer just turned on by itself. And I'm like, then why is Gmod installed? And he's just like, it probably installed itself. And I just say, Steam can't do that, retard. So he goes to saying all this dumb shit to make me believe that it's not him. I always knew that it was him. Nothing would make me not believe that it was him. So he just starts yelling at me, and he's like, you're framing me? And I'm like, no, I'm not, you bitch. So he 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 just so I can't get my words out straight. So the next day we go on this we go out to dinner, and I didn't bring my computer because yeah, and he's just like, when we're going to dinner, he asks, can I play Gmod? And I say no, and I'll tell you why when we get in the car. So we get in the car, we drive about half a mile or a kilometer, and I just say, I left my computer at home. And he just yells, and he's like, dude, why'd you do that? And I'm like, first off, you're not supposed to be even playing today, so I can have control whether you play or not. So he's pissed, and I immediately say, like, after he yells at me, I immediately say, dude, it's my computer. I can do what the fuck I want, you stupid bitch. And he's just fucking crying. He is literally crying. And I'm just like, well, I don't give a fuck. So after he gets done fucking sobbing, he's immediately just like talking to me and saying that I'm like a huge jerk, and I don't even give a fuck. I'm just like, okay, I'm a jerk then. So after he's all done yelling at me and we get home, it was like 9 a.m. at this, not 9 a.m., 9 p.m. at this point. So we're all getting ready for bed, and I see he's on my computer, and I'm like, I just say to him, dude, you're not supposed to be allowed on that, so get off. And he's just like, no, I shouldn't have to get off. You should be the one getting off. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even play it at all today, so you need to shut the fuck up. So he's just all fucking crying. He is sobbing because he's not being able to play Gmod. He was 9. His little brother was 4. It's like they switched age, because the little brother was more sane than him. So I went downstairs to play with the little brother because he wanted to play Legos. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play with the actually sane kid. So I go downstairs to play with him, and I just hear him just yelling. He's just so mad. And I know it's because of Gmod, because that's all he fucking played. And so what we do is I leave his little brother. I'm like, I'll be back, and I see him. He's playing. I immediately close the computer from what he's playing, and he just yells at me. He's just like, dude, what were you doing? And I'm like, what were you doing? You just yelled so loud. And he's like, I wasn't yelling. I was happy. Sure you were, bitch. Sure you were. And he's just saying all these excuses so I don't kick him off. And I'm like, yeah, shut up. So he doesn't play, thankfully, he doesn't play for the next day, so I can fucking rest knowing that he's not going to be a little dick at night. So, and we go to this place in the morning. This is his last day here. We're going to this place, like, I think we were going to 16th Street Mall, and we were going to, like, the Union Station place. Yeah, we go there, and I gave him a 3DS game. It was New Super Mario Bros. 2. I thought he would calm down from Gmod. He calmed down from Gmod, but he started to rage over that game. He would yell, and he would be like all mad at it, and we were on a fucking train. And I'm like, dude, calm down. So I'm like, hey, could I try playing so you stop yelling? And he's like, no! He just yells, no! And I'm just like, fine, bitch. Like, struggle, because if he doesn't want my help, even though I've beaten the game pretty much 2 times already, then I'm just not gonna give him my help. So he just keeps yelling. And then on the way back, because we both brought our 3DSs, he has a 2DS, I have a 3DS, we switched games. I had my Pokemon X, and he had and he had his. I gave him my Pokemon X to play on, and he gave me his New Super Mario Bros. 2 to play on, and I figured this out today. One sec. Okay, sorry. I figured this out today. He stole from me. He stole my Pokemon X game from me. And I wasn't all that pissed about it. I just told my dad, and he called them. And we were all just like, we were cool about it. So that wasn't the part that pissed me off. The part that pissed me off was later in the day when I wanted to go. I was gonna make a vlog today. I was actually gonna make a vlog about like me showing my gaming setup, and I'm going like over to my friend's house. But no, I can't, because first off, he whittled my battery down all the way to fucking he whittled it all the way down to 12%. 12. And I was gonna make a vlog, but I realized I wouldn't have the time to upload it, because it would die. But then I like, okay, I'll go get my charger. I'm like, wait, he was using he was using my charger for his phone. And I immediately know he's stolen my charger. So I just immediately run downstairs, and I'm like, Dad, he took my charger too. So he's like, fine. And he's just like, he's mad. Because he took two things. He has no fucking brain. And so we're doing this. And at this point, I'm just cleaning my mom's car because she has to go to work. And I lift up a chair and I see his book. And last night, this was last night that this happened. I hide the book within some wood, and I burned his book. That was his favorite book. I feel so freaking happy about that. I'm like so happy because I've just finally done something to him that was as worse as he did it. So that was the end of this live commentary. I hope you all enjoyed this fucking idiot stealing my shit and being a massive jerk to me. I will see you all next time, and peace.